you owe it to yourself to test these Facebook audiences first for your ads, especially if you're doing DIY ads. Now, let me give you a disclaimer. Though I will give you these audiences in order, they are not guaranteed to perform for you the best in that order. You have to test. I am a Facebook ads manager. I test for my clients. Test for yourself. If you don't test, you could just be one audience switch away from having significantly lower lead costs or even significantly higher return on ad spend, as in you give Facebook $1 and it gives you back $2 in sales, or maybe you test a different audience and you give Facebook $1 and it gives you back $6 in sale. You need to test. So before I share those audiences with you, hi, my name is QUAY.jo. I am the new host, and if you want to know where the former host of this podcast went, you can head down below. There's 2 episodes down there. One is where Rick talks about his new venture. It is really cool. And the second one is where Rick interviews me and shares more about why he chose me as the new host to continue delivering the same value you would expect, i.e., tips and tricks and strategies, and sometimes behind the scenes and Facebook ads knowledge about, well, online business courses and online memberships so that you can scale from low figures up to high 6 figures. Did I say low figures? I meant low 6 figures, like up to high 6 figures, $900,000 a year. And I say that because people just throw around a million, and I really am trying to help you, the course creator who is low 6 figures and wants to just scale up to high 6 figures. And maybe you're like me, mindset wise, where it's like a million sounds so big, but 900,000 a year in gross annual revenue? Yeah, we could do that. So let's get into the episode. The audiences that you want to test in this order. Now, the order that you're going to decide is the order of value to your business, i.e., in other words, ergo, which one of those is correct? Can you like DM me and tell me, please? I like to get DMs on my Instagram account, which you can see right here on the screen. But the core audiences or custom audiences, if you want to speak Facebook or Meta speak, because they're called custom audiences inside of your Facebook ad manager, the custom audiences that are most valuable to your business, well, you have to decide that. If you sell stuff and you have a good amount of customers already, let's say over 150, approaching 200, great. Then that is the most valuable audience that you want to use in Facebook ads. Now, let's say you don't have a bunch of customers yet. However, because maybe you have a high ticket program, you don't have 100 customers yet because you've been in business for 2 years, but you have like 80 customers and your program was $5,000 and that's like $400,000 in revenue. All right, there we go. So maybe you have a recurring membership too on top of that. So the individual customer count isn't so great, though your business is rocking it. Okay, well, do you have a large email list? Maybe 600 to 800 people minimum? If you do, then that email list becomes the next most valuable audience to you. Now, what if your email list is small? What if your customers isn't where Facebook needs it to be to upload an audience and do this thing that I'm going to tell you in the next steps that gives you a really cool audience to target ads at? Well, do you have a strong Instagram game or Facebook game? As in, are there lots of followers on those accounts? You got 10,000 followers there, 30,000, 40,000, over 100,000 followers? In that case, that becomes a valuable audience. Now, what if you have a strong website presence, like you are a writer or you have writers on your team and you're cranking out blogs, make money from advertising like Mediavine because you have so many page visits to your website? Well, then that is a valuable audience and you want to use that. So what am I talking about when I say use these valuable audiences? Well, hey, we'll get right back to the episode in a moment. You want to make sure that you're avoiding all the mistakes with Facebook ads that could cost your business a good amount of money because your ads just aren't running like they should be. Well, you can hop on a call with me and I can look at your Facebook ads and you get to leverage my 3 years of Facebook ads management experience, optimize your account, fix it up right then and there on the call, so that your ads will be running better and getting either more leads for you or making more sales for you. If you want my help, that is theartofonlinebusiness.com/call. and we can hop on Zoom together and you will learn so much as I fix your ads for you. All right, now back to the episode. This is where you need to start. I am a Facebook ad manager. I work with new clients all the time. And though they are not new to business, when I look at their ad accounts, I'm like, my gosh, how have you not been targeting these audiences? Yes, targeting an interest-based audience is good, but why only target an audience based off their interests when you can get a lot more laser focused with the people that you are reaching with the offer that can serve them the best? Your offer. Here's what I mean. Take any of those valuable audiences that I just shared. Your customer purchase your customer email list, your general email list, your website visitors, your social media followers, right? Take those lists. If it's an email list, upload that email list to Facebook and say, Facebook, here's my email list. Now, give me an audience of another 2 million people or 1.5 million people. The size of the audience depends on the size of your list. And Facebook says, right away, we know about 52,000 data points on each person on your email list. We're going to look at that email list and say, okay, of the email list that you gave us, how many of those people can we match to real live Facebook users? So they don't know data points on each person of your email list. Facebook Meta has 52,000 data points on every Meta or Facebook user, okay? You're going to upload your list to Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call it. I still like to say Facebook because of the good old days and nostalgia. And then Facebook will say, okay, you might have uploaded 1,000 people. We're going to match those email addresses and names to Facebook accounts as best as they can. Now, maybe they'll get between 40% and 60% of your email addresses and names matched to true Facebook accounts. That's the range, which is why Facebook Ad Manager World say that you need between 600 and 800 people on your email list before uploading it becomes effective, okay? So now they've matched up your email list names and emails to Facebook ad accounts, and then they say, great, now we're going to make a lookalike audience for you, as long as you click the lookalike audience, create lookalike audience blue button. And they'll say, we're going to give you 2 million people, the top 1% of Facebook users, right, that have the same attributes as the people who we matched Facebook accounts to from your email list. And that is a lookalike audience. And it is very powerful because do you think that if you had a good number of people who bought from you, then showing your ads to more people who are similar to them would give you a higher chance of finding more people who are likely to buy from you? I think so. I've tested it. I've done this for Facebook ads clients of mine. Do you think that if you have a strong blog presence, that building a lookalike audience of more people who are similar to the people that have spent the most time on your website, here's a little tidbit. You can build a lookalike audience off of the people who have visited your website, but Facebook actually gives you 3 cooler options. Well, they're levels of options that are slightly better. And you can take advantage of these options if you have a lot more website traffic. Now let me go into my Facebook ad manager. Give me a second. Coming into my ad account and clicking on audiences. And once the audiences show up, I'm going to create an audience by clicking on the blue button that says create an audience and create a custom audience. And now there's a window in the middle of my screen and I'm clicking the first source, which is website. And then I go to next. And here I can see, here's the tip. Super beneficial for you if you have lots of website visitors. Not all website visitors are created igual. Igual is like in Spanish for equal, I think. I live in Mexico, by the way. Now, back to what I was getting at is instead of all website visitors, see this third option now that I've clicked on the events field where it says all website visitors? I can choose visitors by time spent. Ooh, now that's cool. So now to the right, I see percentiles. Do I want the top 25% of people who have spent the longest amount of time on my website? Do I want to build an audience of the top 10% or the top 5% of people who have spent the longest time on my website? Now, what does this mean? If you have a website, which I know you do, whether it's a free one like Wix or Squarespace, are those even free? I'm not sure. I have a Squarespace website. Can't remember if I pay for it. Or you're using WordPress, something like a bounce rate. Somebody comes to your website, they don't see anything, they bounce off. Like that's like lots of people, right? So now if you're gonna retarget everyone that visits your website, that includes the whole group of people who go to your website, including the ones who just go there and then leave because they decide that there's nothing for them right away, or because they saw a squirrel or a cool cat video on YouTube. And you don't necessarily want retarget all of those people or build an audience like we're talking about in this episode, a lookalike audience of more people that could be similar to those bouncer offers, right? So what you do is maybe you target the top 25% of people that have spent the most time on your website. Now you're targeting people who have expressed more interest in your website because they haven't left so quickly. And the logic goes then that if you build a lookalike audience of them, that is now 2 million people strong. Those 2 million people share more similarities with people who were more interested in your website. Now you understand a bit about lookalike audiences. It's the same with your Instagram followers and Facebook followers. Build a lookalike audience based off of those followers. Now, did you know that you can choose different types of lookalike audiences based off of your Instagram followers? For example, you can choose just people that have interacted with your ads. You can choose people that have interacted with your professional or your Instagram account. I believe that some of the people who express the highest intent to engage with your brand, and possibly you can deduce that they would be the most likely to do business with you, are people that DM you, not the spammers, but people that DM you questions, that you've responded to, or people that leave comments on your Instagram posts. And if you have a large enough Instagram following, then I recommend you test those lookalike audiences. Build a lookalike audience of the people who have commented on your Instagram posts, or build a lookalike audience of the people who have DM'd you on Instagram, and then test it. See if your cost per lead is better to your lead magnet. See if your revenue, your return on ad spend, as in you give Facebook $1 and it gives you how many dollars back, is higher with these audiences.